No, they're not going. wants to do anything at that park. And he put about it. John's last name.
You like, show up?
So if he just showed up, that'd be all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh,
We still like you.
sorry.
Still like you.
You know,
Just sign the roll and get out.
Sorry. I'm in that category too.
Yeah.
So. Oh, thanks.
How many more do you need, you guys?
2, 4, 3 more.
All right.
Because I think you are ex officio.
Said we might not have anything to vote on today either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of
We just need enthusiastic people.
chit chat. Yeah, I was saying since the World of Wonder planting is on Wednesday, we already voted on getting it approved and everything. I think I am gonna buy some snacks as well, not just the coffee and water. I feel like they've given so much money and we're not using most of it in this planting. So I think, yeah, we need to get them some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Help with that? Do
Yeah.
you need
If we
somebody to
could.
help gather any of that
Yeah,
stuff?
I mean,
Um,
I live close to kind of like Ideal Bagel, like if you want to get bagels.
Oh, that would be a
Bagels and
nice.
coffee. So whatever we do, Pam was saying that we can just get it reimbursed,
Okay,
from the tree council if anybody makes purchases on their own. I think Pam has done that on a few spots, just paid it on her own and then she's just reimbursed herself.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. just-
You can also call in and pay for it over the phone. You know what I mean? If that's easier to eliminate kind of one step, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just call and order and pay for it with credit card, because she's got the card, right?
She does. She's at Jekyll Island right now at a conference though. I don't know if she's gonna be back by Wednesday, so I think we're kind of on her.
No one else have the card?
I do not, no, and I don't think anyone else does.
I think somebody else should have one though, just in the future, the next time we have a meeting, because like, the
Probably should.
chairperson.
I probably could get one
Yeah.
because I am a name on the account now. I added myself to it, or Pam added me to it. So I could do that, get a card. I think as it is for now, just for convenience, I'm just gonna buy it and turn in a receipt. But yeah, coffee, water, and any type of food if we can.
You got some guess about how many area folks are gonna show up? Seems like we were talking.
Yeah,
20, I think, is it 25 to 30? They were hoping for.
they're hoping for it. As of 2 days ago, they had 6 signed up.
One per tree, that's good.
Well, so I have, or actually, let me take notes here. So 410, how many people? So, yeah, it was like 5 or 6 people, something like that. But I think they're gonna have a number of people do last minute. I think regardless though, even if they only show up with 6 people, we've got Royal Landscaping there with the big machinery to move the trees, to increase the size of the holes if we need to spread mulch, to bring mulch, like, so I think we're gonna have enough. So I don't think that will be an issue. So far, but issue.
John
Yeah, I
Atchee was
bet.
the, you know John Atchee?
A lot of people. I feel like they'll have
John
to sign up.
Atchee, yes, yeah, he
Yeah.
was over on Robert Hardiman.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the one that's interested in Southeast Clarke Park that wants to.
Oh.
I'll mention it to him.
Tell them about it. Yeah, well, we definitely need to get waivers signed for anyone that shows up, but I'm gonna have the playground closed. Just closed to the public.
Yeah.
And so there's the online waiver for people in advance, and I didn't know if that applied to us as well.
I think we do need to
Yeah.
sign them technically.
And then should we have some just printed for the day of?
Yeah, do you have access to those waivers?
I was going back through the email. She sent the QR code. Was that the one or was that for something?
I think the QR code was for it.
I think so.
Uh,
I can have them printed.
cool.
You know, what do you think, like 15,
Let's do 20.
20? Okay.
Heating.
Oh, yeah, that's, oh my gosh, I totally know what HVAC is, but in my head, I was thinking it was one of the trees, that's why I was like, okay.
Tree.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah.
I know that because I just had to write a check to one of
Too much HVAC. That is not cheap.
Yeah.
So I had the trees delivered today. We've got Nuttall oaks and black gums. All 3-inch, but they look like really big 3 inches. Like they're really big trees from what I was expecting. So they're sitting at the playground right now under a shade cloth and in the shade.
How many was it?
6 of them.
6.
Where did they come from? Did they come from Moons?
Moons,
Okay.
yeah. And the Nuttall oaks, I'm gonna go ahead and say they're gonna look maybe will look a little odd to y'all. They are trees that they specifically limbed higher than other trees, from their other Nuttalls. And he sent me the photo of them and was like, hey, these ones, I think maybe they're limbed up a little too high. I was like, no, they're perfect. Please, send me those ones.
Sight lines, right?
For that, and just to keep kids from
Yeah.
grabbing them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm really, really happy with the trees. They look great.
This is so good.
And I'm really trying to keep them happy, put the shade cloth on them. And I think tomorrow I may end up going over there and trying to cover them even more. I think tomorrow it might be a little toasty, the same as late day today. And in that playground, gosh, late day sun is just oppressive. So 6 trees are delivered. Oh yeah, so Nuttall and Nisa, so Blackham. What else we got? Yeah. Oh, so let's just continue about the World of Wonder. We'll get on the Rivers Alive here in just a minute, I think. So excuse me, like after all the expenses, I think we're gonna come in a little over 10 grand of money for us. So we're gonna be spending about $9,000, and we'll have just under $10,000 as kind of, they just give it to us. Because I remember asking them, I was like, hey, after the fact, invoices, they're like, nope, you don't need to show us any of that. Anything that's left over from what you asked, it's just a donation that Carrier is giving to you. So, sound cool?
Yeah.
Right?
In that case,
I know, right?
15 would probably be good, right?
Yeah, and I think at first I was like really questioning. I was like, gosh, should we go ahead and just try to ramp this up to like 12 trees? But I think with the size of the trees and where it is, there's already so much complication. Were you on the group call?
I think, yes.
It was like during a day,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't see what everyone was seeing, but they could see me apparently.
Yeah. You were up in a tree maybe.
Yeah. So on that, I was asking them about that. And they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. 6 trees, like we were expecting more, but I think your trees are way bigger than what we usually do. So I don't think they're going to feel bad about it. I think they're going to be really happy with it, especially after we call them out and do a little bit of publicity for them. And I think also once they get pictures from the photographer, it'll probably be pretty nice for them to have it for their marketing supplies.
Yes, we could. I know they were that was one thing they were holding on a press release. I think Carrier was gonna issue it, but I think then we could use it as well. It was my understanding, if we needed to, or we can use all of their verbiage for any of our online, like social media.
So they're holding off for now.
Yeah, that's
And then
what
they're
we
gonna do it
said.
at the end.
Okay,
And
so
then we
maybe
can just
after,
We can just kind of see what they do and
Yeah,
ride
that's
the
what I figured.
coattails. Okay.
Maybe get, post some good photos. I thought it would be nice to talk about the trees that get a little bit of, tell people why those were selected.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a
You
good
know,
idea.
Just
I think people need to realize what all goes into a planting. Most people don't realize that, just kind of the complexity, all the different user groups that I have to like go and talk to, leisure services, landscape, our supervisors, the people who work on the ground there at landscape. So I'm asking a lot of people their input. And it would be cool for us to be able to show, well, we're thinking about police officer sight lines, and we're thinking about kids climbing on the trees, and we're thinking about
yeah.
future development in the playground and all these things. And actually, if y'all are interested, I've turned to the page in this notebook that shows the stuff with all the red in it, was sent to me by Todd Miller from Leisure Services. So that's like prospective, development that they're gonna do, like they're gonna add in shade structures maybe someday, like we don't know, is that gonna happen, is it not? Well, regardless, we're planning for it and we're planting accordingly. So a lot of the planting positions, somebody may go there and be like, why are we doing it here? Like, this is, how about over there? But there are some really specific reasons why each position was chosen. Septic fields, sumps for water fountains, and then the sight lines are the big three that were considered. But yeah, that was a really cool little map that Todd sent me and marked up. So I thought that was really good. I've got Stacy Smith. She's going to bring me, or actually, I'm going to go get shovels and rod rakes and gloves and glasses tomorrow. And I'll just have my truck filled with all of that. Royal Landscaping is bringing all of the mulch. So we don't have to worry about that, thankfully. What else?
Water.
Water, there is a water fountain there, but I feel like we should have actual water for people. Like,
I was actually
The
thinking about the
trees.
trees.
It's like, the trees need more.
I believe they have hose bibs there.
Okay, that was gonna, cause I know the tool shed, I know we could ask Stacy if you wanted to, when you're there tomorrow, you could bring.
Do they
There's a
have
couple
water
hoses.
or just hoses? Okay.
Hoses, yeah.
Royal Landscape, the invoice that we got, I'm sorry, had in there watering as well. They're having it, so they're gonna have, I think, it's either 4 or 5 separate watering events, and it's just based on us requesting it. So this one, I would rather us not call that into them. For this one, I'd rather us bring some water for the trees. And I could probably do that even without a hose bib. We could bring some. But I'm gonna put that on my things to check.
Bring some, what would you bring it in?
Probably like one of those big IBC tanks, with like metal cage around it.
Yeah.
That's what we use for watering or like
Yeah, I like
trees
those.
of downtown trees usually.
Let's visualize them.
So put an asterisk here. Let's see if that should. There's bibs. I've got a bunch of long hoses that we can bring, so I don't need to get those from Stacy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna check into the hose bibs, make sure they're working. I'll just talk with the landscape crew that services it. Let's see, any other thoughts on that, y'all? Lauren, you're gonna look into that QR code for me?
Yeah.
Is that okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll look into that and have them printed.
I've got stuff being printed at the central services print shop. It's got a few like visual references for kind of that initial introduction talk that I'm going to give about, you know, why Athens is set up the way that it is. So hopefully those will be printed by tomorrow. And let's see what else.
Were
Who
you
else?
protective fencing or anything around the base like we've done in the past?
No,
Okay.
leisure services was kind of iffy on that. So I just said, okay, we won't. But I like the idea of putting the fencing there.
I just know when we've done things at the housing authority sites, we've always put that into the plan, but that's a different audience.
we've
It's
done
different
that.
folks.
Done that at least at some of the school grounds that we've added
Mhm.
trees to also.
Phil's the master of it.
Leisure services is not big fans of that, and the downside is if there are kids around, that's something else for them to climb on, get tangled up in and break their arm off of.
That's what Todd was saying, is that like usually the fencing, they're worried about a kid getting like caught in it or something.
But there ought to be some, even if it's just one of those plastic wraps that just identifies the trunk.
Yeah.
But try to encourage people to leave it alone, you know, not to skin it up.
That'd be lightweight, those are.
Oops. Sorry.
I wonder if maybe using like
Really
a,
advance?
like a burlap to wrap it. I mean, people always use like the black
Mhm.
plastic. But I don't like that. I mean, it gets hot in there.
Yeah.
And I would hate for it to freeze in the winter and then get the hot sun, because that's when you'll see a lot of times those vertical cracks from
I was
free
thinking of
thaw.
something like, you know, these orange knitting type fence, little
The
low fences.
the
you see
silk
around the
fence, the
street
silk-
outside, almost
Like
like
the-
a silk fence, but not the solid stuff. That
That
would
they-
just be a bright color and that you could just wrap around it to say, hey, this is a new thing here, don't mess with it.
Maybe a little bit of silk fence, just token. I don't know. Wrapped around.
I'll ask leisure
You
services.
know what I mean?
You got it.
Something.
Oh, yeah, the tree protection.
How about these crafty people you see around town knitting things with stop signs on the knit free socks?
Old paper.
Cool. I mean, we could even make natural, you know, guardian fences around it, just put a bunch of stakes and then weave it with rods of something. But that's work. We are gonna have staking on them just because they're so large. We're gonna do underground stakes. So I think actually we should have like really bright ribbons
Yeah.
on those wires.
Flagging.
Yeah, just so people can see them. I mean, granted, you're not supposed to be there at night, but also kids just go running.
No, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But that is gonna be optional for them, but I think that with a 3-inch tree, I think we do need some staking, so. But I did confirm with Todd Miller, like we can do the staking, they would prefer the underground stakes though, so.
And so then you just have a little bit of the top portion, is that what that comes out of the ground that needs to
No,
be
it's
flagged?
just rope coming out of the ground.
Everything's underground, the road goes all, okay. Do you need survey tape or do you have,
I've got a bunch of marking
You do?
tape
Okay,
I can
okay.
use, yeah, really bright stuff,
yeah.
louder than me even. Mm,
When's the official start time? 9.
9 AM. Royal is gonna be out there probably like 7:45, starting everything. I had utility locates done on the area, so we should be good there. Just put here for. I think I'll probably be getting there about that early as well, just to kind of start the holes. Make sure they're doing in the right spots. You'd be surprised. Even though they are spray painted on the ground. But the two guys that helped me unload the trees today were really helpful, really nice. And they'll be there at the planting.
And those were all Royals. Is that
Yeah,
Royals group?
Leo and Emmanuel.
Yeah.
And I think Hall said that he's gonna kind of go over the, standard planting process with his guys before the day. Just to be sure. I mean, they do a lot of planting, but he's wanted to be sure that everyone's on the same page. So that's nice that he's doing that. A lot of companies would just be like, they know. So if anyone wants to show up earlier than 9 o'clock, you are more than welcome to.
I'll try to be there about 8.
I was gonna say, I'll come, and I'm happy to help get everybody sign groups if they need.
Uh,
Does everybody know where they're going? Like, have directions been sent out to everybody?
Yeah, so I had to make like a map of everyone and mark the parking and everything, so they should be good there. I told them they can park either right next to the playground or, near the dog parks.
Yeah.
I did show without a shadow of a doubt that it is in the playground that we're going. Um, The only thing I don't have right now is bolt cutters or like wire cutters. I think we have some, like Leader Services has
What,
them.
what do you want to cut? Like barbed
The
wire?
cages off of the trees once they're in the ground.
Yeah, I've got, like 8-inch bolt cutters with that.
That'd be perfect, yeah.
I did that.
Sorry you about that.
So Gary, you can bring some bolt cutters.
And I have some, I'm just trying myself, if I can
They're,
find.
they're so great on barbed wire.
Ah,
And they're just little short ones.
Yeah, they're little 8-inch.
the more we have, the better, because I think we are gonna be placing multiple trees at the same time, so if you got one filled, please bring it.
I've got 3, but I'll bring 2.
Keep one in reserve just in case. But I think that's the only piece of equipment that I don't have readily available. Everything else we should be good to go. And just remind everybody to bring eye protection. People get really big on throwing dirt around.
Like, you were gonna get some from Stacy?
Yeah, I've got it for the number that Carrier is wanting.
But for
So there
us,
may be a few that don't get them. If we have all 20, but we may very well have everyone here to be able to have them. Themselves.
A lot of bunch of stuff. It's past summer, like it is.
Oh.
Probably 8 classes, maybe 6.
Bring some for you and an extra pair. Yeah, I always try to bring 2 pairs just in case. So. So everyone else, please bring some. And if you don't, then we'll probably still have some personal protective equipment for you. Does anybody have any other thoughts on anything? Speak now, or you can bring it up in a few minutes.
well, if not, I'm just itching to talk about Rivers Alive.
Rivers alive.
Yeah,
Right at 4:30 is perfect.
right. Yeah, we had a real successful day. I had asked the Rivers Alive people for just 10 people because I didn't want a big group, but there was a UGA ecology class that wanted experience. Richard Hall's class,
Cool.
he's doing an invasives classes, so they sent me 5 from his class. I had a really great crew, and in just that 2 hours, we got a whole heck of a lot done. I had marked trees that I wanted to rescue and got all of those done, plus more.
Nice.
And so this would be like the 3rd volunteer event I've had out there specifically for the Oriental Bittersweet. And I'm finally feeling kind of encouraged. We may save that forest. There was just so much of that vine out there. And I did a ring count on one of them, and it was just about 30-year-old vines. These vines were monster things. So that was great.
Good job.
That's awesome.
And one more thing, we had the Creation Care Fair out at St. Gregory's Church, yeah, that was yesterday. They had probably 75 people, just people from the church that came into the little conference room. There were quite a few organizations there with tables, and they gave us an entire full-length table, and I set up a bunch of examples of vines that kill trees
Cool.
and talked about that. But,
For these ones.
so the audience, I counted 75 people there, but they were mostly church members that were chowing down on the potluck. I don't know how real interested they were in, but it was a first annual event. Maybe they'll do it next year. But
It was called Creation Care Fair.
yeah. Mhm.
I like it. Care for the creation.
But the
Big
Georgia
feelings.
Interfaith Power and Light was there. Covenant Presbyterian, and Oconee United Methodist, and the Unitarian folks were there too.
The was it Unitarian Universalist?
Right.
So Georgia Interfaith Power and Light, Oconee Methodist, UU. There was one more. that you said.
Covenant Presbyterian with
Yeah.
that's your church, huh? Yeah, I met several of your fellow church members there.
Is that the one over by Green Acres?
It is. Mhm.
Like right across
Right
from
there.
Kroger?
Yeah,
Okay,
sort of diagonal from Publix.
yeah. Heard people wanting to buy that place. Or develop it again.
Well, which place?
The church?
The church?
Yeah, people are like, that's the hottest piece of property on the
There's-
side.
There's a property right on the corner that was a med trends or some medical thing, and then a home health care, and it is for sale or has been for sale and rezoning and all that, so.
Gotcha, that's probably
We're
here.
adjacent to that.
Okay.
We do like to use their parking lot though, so I'm hoping it doesn't sell.
Maybe not much longer, yeah. Saw them taking down that building. So thank you for going to that, Gary. I was not able to make it. This weekend was pretty wild for me, so I'm glad someone was able to go and speak for the trees a little bit. Even if people were just chowing down.
Well, the other groups that had tables, the B Lab, UGA B Lab, and there was a bee demonstration, and somebody doing that organizes the pollinator census was there with seed packets. ACC Recycling was there, and us. And so all the people that were there with the tables were all interested in each other, even though the church members were not all that interested in us.
What's a good net?
Annually, yeah. Is
Good
it?
net.
This is the first time she's done it. Yeah.
Because many years ago, there used to be like a Green Churches program that
Wow.
kind of pulled all the churches together. And, you know, there were some people that were super active and they worked through Keep Athens-Clarke Kind of Beautiful some, and we tried to help them. And I mean, I'm talking like 15 years ago, it was a while ago. And then, you know, how, like with everything else, when, you know, the kind of band leader leaves, you know, it just, you know, started to fall apart a little bit. So, but that's what I was thinking when you brought it up. It sounds a little bit similar to.
Yeah, well, this the woman that launched it, Maggie Reinberger. Sound like she
Is she
it was something she wanted to do, and it was just on her initiative when it happened.
at St. Gregory's? Is that her?
Yeah, yeah.
She worships.
She's like the green person there.
Covenant has a green dream team, sort of a committee
Yeah.
that's getting a little more active now again. So maybe these things cycle.
It's a good tongue twister. Green Dream Team.
Well, at the UU, we call it the green ministry team. We go out, we minister
As
green.
opposed to the green menace.
Yeah,
Sounds like
well, that would be the
sounds
invasive,
like a
the green
football
menace.
Where is the forest with all the bittersweet?
We're what?
Where is the forest with all the bittersweet?
Oh, it's behind Oglethorpe Elementary School, which is kind of interesting thing. Like the school district owns 50 acres there, and it's adjacent to the YMCA on Hawthorne. And so with the YMCA, 40 acres, it's like pushing 100 acres.
Oh, wow.
Uh, and it's got streams running through it. It's real varied habitat. And I found out recently that it was Walt Cook's very first trail he ever built. He was a forestry professor,
Oh.
and he knew the principal of the school. The principal said, "We've got 50 acres here.
Yeah.
Anybody got ideas?" And somebody said, "Well, let's build a trail." And then who can build a trail? So she knew Walt, and Walt, he said, I've never built a trail, but I've walked on trails. So I figure I can do it. So, but yeah, that was kind of interesting because that launched his trail building career. He's built trails, including Cook's Trail, of course, all over the Southeast. And then he actually ended up teaching a course at Warnell on trail building.
Okay, so I took a lot of classes with Walt, and not only that, but some of those classes, the requirement for some of those classes that we would go away and do field work, but we would go camping for the weekend.
Oh.
So I have several different times that I was away camping with Walt Cook, and the big joke was that he always went off trail, and we were always going through briars. And it was like this madness where he would be like, "Where are you guys?" And he'd just going to be like, "Go." And we were like, students like, "He's crazy."
Yeah.
Never wanted to stay on the trail. Never wanted to stay on the trail. It was crazy. So it's so funny. We always say that about like all the trails. So we're like, "That man couldn't stay on the trail." So it is funny.
To look at Walt, even back then, you wouldn't have thought that he would have been.
Even back then. That's
But,
right.
man,
That's right. That's right.
Telling our age now.
I know we are. I know. But really, really fun memories though with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I helped him build parts of Cook's Trail back
Back in the day.
right around 1990,
Mhm.
and I was just really, really fit then. I was running 5 miles every day, and I was just ready to trail build, and I could not keep up with Walt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Him swinging that mattock
Yeah.
and not stopping.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. He out hiked all of us. I mean, we were like 19, 20 years old, and it was insane. And we all still talk. We all still laugh about it. A lot of us are still friends, and we're like, remember Walker? Because he always had his walking stick too, and so we would be, kind of deep in the woods, and he just kept going. He just had so much energy.
And
It's like,
he would have kept it. I mean, we thought he was going to die.
we did
you
too.
know, that,
Oh my
that
gosh.
day out in Tallahassee Forest. You know when he fell
And spent
and spent the night in the rain and all of that. That would have been perfect
Yeah.
for him to go.
We used to get nervous about that because
Yeah.
we're like, I mean, Dr. Cook's kind of old, and we're like all in our like 20s, and like, what if something happens and then we're in the middle of nowhere up in North Georgia mountains, I mean, I could out hike any of us.
Yeah, we should get together because his son is wanting to collect Walt stories.
Oh, yes.
Before he dies.
Oh, and I have several other people
good.
that and they're very funny.
Yeah.
All of them are very funny stories.
Well, my first Walt story was working that first day on Cook's Trail. Like I'm not allergic to poison ivy. So we come up to this poison ivy, and I said, "Well, I'm not allergic. I can kill that for you."
Mhm.
And he put down his mattock and he walked over to me. He said, "Poison ivy is a native plant, and it has very valuable berries for birds." He said, we don't kill poison ivy." Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Do that, Walt. All right, okay.
But I used to be the go-to guy. If people had poison ivy and they wanted, I'll kill it for you. But now I'm reformed. Thanks to Walt.
It turns pretty colors too.
Yes.
Right now, yeah,
Right
it's
now.
very pretty.
If you're like one of those people that has gotten poison ivy in your eyes or something else, you're like, I'm sorry, I don't love poison ivy. Me.
In its place.
Yeah.
That's right. Some places may.
Yeah.
You think of it as a bird feeder when it's in the tree.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
Ah.
Well, that's Most Rivers Alive. Um,
Just the coffee was maybe
Coffee.
no. Have we heard any?
all right, so, oh, wait a minute, let me write this down. Asks about coffee. So Jesse reached out to David last month, asking if he's got the artwork. He kind of came back saying like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot about it. I'll work on it. When do you need it by? I won't be offended if y'all go with someone else." Jesse said, "Well, we need it by the next meeting, or we're probably gonna have to go with someone else." So Jesse's in New Zealand right now.
Oh, good for her.
So I don't know, she's at the ISA's international conference. So I'm jealous. But hopefully when she gets back, she's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this email that I got with beautiful artwork." But I don't know what we're gonna see, when she gets back. I'll go ahead, I'll reach out to her, just text her and let her know, hey, when you get back, just reach out to us. But that is kind of the expectation, is that we were just waiting to see what he comes up with, and if not, then we'll go to the next. In that case, I think I'd like to go to Marissa Mustard and just see what she has to offer.
Her by chance. Our daughters are in the same dance class.
Oh, really?
And they were talking, and yeah. I was like, I loved it when they used to roast coffee over here, because, yeah, we
Yeah.
hated the chicken smell, and she was like, "Oh, that's my dad." And I was like, "Oh, hey, finally."
Oh.
So, yeah, she was super sweet.
She's really cool. Really
Yeah,
cool.
all her murals. So she'd be a great, I think.
What's ISA?
International Society of Arboriculture. So an arborist is like an ISA certified arborist, they're the governing body of that certification, qualification. And we had the international conference, the headquarters is here in Atlanta. So they had the 100-year anniversary conference here last year in Atlanta. And then this year, Jessie, right, she's the director of the Georgia Arborist Association. And because the ISA's international conference was here, they really leaned on the Georgia Arborist Association. And she did a lot for them. And she kind of like, I think she was just like, hey, like, I'll do this, but you guys gotta let me go to the international conference. So they're paying for her to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're taking a little bit of a vacation as well.
They on the South Island somewhere,
I hope so.
yeah.
I hope they're having a grand old time. I told her I'm gonna live vicariously through her. If I can't go to the mountains, she better. But yeah, so we don't have any word back on that right now. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'll reach out to Marissa and just see, hey, what do you have for us? Do you have anything for us? But we are gonna start cutting it really close, unfortunately,
I was
so
like, what was the turnaround once they had the artwork to get it on the tents?
said 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks, okay.
So we're cutting it really, really close right now. But I mean, I don't know if we have to be like really distraught if we don't make it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to have it by the holiday season. It
Yeah.
would be nice, but I think I'd rather just have it look good and be successful than
Yeah.
us necessarily get it out this season.
Yeah.
We'll see. Actually, I spoke on the tree that owns itself for the first time ever in front of a group. Bobby was there. People Gardeners Club. So that was fun to work out some of those kinks in my head as I practice. I was pretty happy with it. Hopefully
People
we're
still talk
lost.
about it, yeah. People are still talking.
Really good.
What was the event?
It's a monthly meeting of the Piedmont Gardeners. We do plants and scholarship, we're not our rangers.
So it's maybe a little off topic, but still a little tangential, a little germane to Piedmont Gardeners Club.
What about the acorns?
Yes, so Phil, let's talk about that, right? We're talking about the food and so Phil brought me these. I've got 2 more of these in the refrigerator here.
These are potentially worth $20 a piece if they sprout.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot. So Angel Creek Nursery, hold on, I gotta write this stuff down. You asked about tree that ends itself acorns. What was that?
Subscribe to the.
Secretary.
So yeah, I got a few more bags of these. Angel Creek Nursery is going to take them. It's probably pretty similar. Some of y'all probably already know the deal, but it's if we give them these now, in about April, they'll be able to give us I think it's 2-inch deep cups with each cup is germinated with 1 acorn, and they'll sell those back to us for $1.50. Or they'll do it in a 4-inch for $2.50, right? So it's a little bit larger of a root structure. So it's just a little bit more friendly to the person that we hand it off to. It'll be a little bit harder for them to kill it, just because there's more soil volume. And then Angel Creek, I believe it was, they can hold on to it for another year, a little bit more than a year, and they'll give each of them in a 3-gallon pot for 16 apiece. So that's pretty cool. I think the 3-gallon pots, that's a tree that's standing pretty tall. So, getting $20 for it is really, really easy to do, I think. But if it's only 16, then really there's not much wiggle room there. We may want to think about a different cost for it. Also, Brian Box, who's come here a number of times, the forester with the big bushy beard. He is just really, really interested in germinating anything and everything. He and I are working together on a project to replant about 4 acres that are under my control in Winterville. That's where my sycamore wall is. But we're doing all like bur oak, shagbark hickory, bitternut hickory, white oak, red oak, and then some other stuff, maple, catalpa, things like that. But so we've got 3 refrigerators filled with, no, two right now. If I start getting more bitternut and shagbark hickory, we're gonna have to open up a 3rd one. But that is for that project specifically. And in that, Brian started getting tree that owns itself acorns as well. And he said that he'd be happy to pop them up to 3-gallon and sell them to us for $10 each. So I think then it's even more profitable for us, and we don't have to go down to Watkinsville or Bishop, I think is where that is. And then also I think that would give us the opportunity of maybe even grabbing them at a smaller size, if we decided to. But we don't really have to make a decision on that. I figured I would just mention it, that Brian is
So
really.
when we sell this to the public, do we offer any Providence certification or certificate that this is really that tree? I mean, not that we need to prove it, but it'd be nice to give them
Yeah, so they
a
could feel like,
thing.
like a plaque or something.
Yeah.
Have we ever done that in the past, or was there ever?
I have one from the tree that owns itself, or I did on my farm recently.
You didn't have a certification
didn't.
or anything, did
A
you?
certificate, you mean like?
Yeah.
At least a year.
No, but
Every-
I mean,
Yeah.
Roger Coffin Roger used to just, he used to propagate, like he used to, there was a bunch. We would give them away as gifts during, Arbor
Yeah,
Day.
I
We
germinated some myself and
do it to give them
distributed, but I
for
didn't give anybody a documentation.
No, I never got it.
People used to take other people's work.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of something that you might stick in the ground by the tree.
I get what you're saying, and that there would be
Yeah, that's, yeah.
it would be
Like AKA.
just
Yeah,
a
they-
selling point as much as anything.
Yeah.
Taking the linen
Pedigree.
coffin.
Pedigree.
I wonder if we have, we have a number of pictures. I've taken pictures each time I've gone to collect, taking a picture of the bag, like you sent me pictures of the bags. Brian, each time he's
In front of the
collected,
monument that was there.
he's always taken a picture of the bags in front of the monument. So to some extent, that's not an art broker isn't gonna deal with that provenance, of course, but a plant lover may very well go with that. Has anybody seen the documentary Who the Bleep is Jackson Pollock?
No,
Sounds
If you are an
interesting.
art fan, it is fantastic. It's about a trucker, an old lady, who finds a Jackson Pollock, or what she thinks is a Jackson Pollock at a yard sale. And it's all about her trying to create a provenance. And then through this process, they end up finding a fingerprint of Jackson Pollock on the back of the painting. And there has been lots of, the art world has been in tumult over this painting for many, many years. But yeah, okay, so anyways, nice little aside there, sorry to throw us on the tangent. I think I may have seen it on Netflix originally, but yeah, it's Who the Bleep is Jackson Pollock. But yeah, I think some of those photos maybe would help. But maybe even selling them with like a tag that you could put along with it. I wonder.
tag with like,
Just
Let
something you
people-
could stick
people
up
like
next to the.
Yeah.
the definition.
You know, if we were selling maybe a, 4-inch deep seedling for $5, right? Doubling the cost of what we've spent on it, but then, the cost of that marker, whatever that is marked up would be a portion of it as well.
But the marker would add value to it.
Probably would, yeah. A marker with a little 4-inch deep, seedling that might be worth $20.
would have a seedling on
Oh, yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you. You were in EPA, right? Yeah. Gotta have an inventory on it. But yeah, I think we're sitting pretty well with the white oak acorns. I think here I might have time this week. I doubt it though, to bring them down to Angel Creek Nursery. If anybody had a day where they could do so, I'm happy to pass off everything I've got. As long as they're being chilled, I think we're okay. I did leave some of mine out not being chilled, and grubs just started coming out of them like wazoo. I could easily see 30% of these being
Wow.
no good with weevils. I have not done float tests on any of these.
What,
A float test. So usually, if the weevil has gotten into them, usually they will float.
so if
Great
the
ones
weevil
will
has
drop.
just started, I mean, are they? Will
I think-
refrigerators stop them or?
It will slow them, but I don't think it will stop them.
So if it's got a weevil, it's just not viable.
Yeah.
Well, the things, they will actually oftentimes germinate even if we've in them. If, white oaks, for instance, they'll begin sprouting almost as soon as they hit the ground. If the moisture is right, they've got leaf litter on them or something. And so I'm sure it reduces the food that's available for the seedling to begin. But unless they get into the germ of the acre, they can still sprout. Refrigerating was a good idea though, because it probably puts those grubs in suspended animation so that where they're not eating any of the acre meat. Those were in the refrigerator. I tell you, I just took them out to bring them over here, so.
I'll tell you, I came back after the weekend and there were grubs all over my desk.
Oh.
I was like,
God,
no.
And
Okay, I'm glad Jeannie hasn't seen this.
you don't even.
don't tell her.
I won't, I promise.
So what if they get into oak furniture?
Linen or anything, but-
I know, right?
How big, are they little? Little girls?
Yeah,
or-
little
they're
tiny ones.
just-
Little
Yeah,
wiggly thing.
yeah.
But,
So cute.
I didn't think our white oaks have those. That's interesting.
So yeah, if anyone
I'll,
would want to
I
bring
think
those to
Jack,
Angel
she's gonna look in, I gotta look for some plants anyway, so if they
Oh.
have what I
Okay.
need and it go, I'll,
Yeah, take a look at them. Let me know. What else we got?
Why were the grubs coming out on your table? Why won't they stay in there?
I had them in a paper bag just for airflow. So I don't want them to get
I
stuffy.
mean,
and-
he just wants to know, as
Why did
far
they-
as life cycle, why are they?
Why didn't they stay in the Athens-Clarke?
They're getting ready to.
Were they, yeah, were they ready to pupate? I guess?
Yeah, going around or something, I guess.
Oh, they were full.
Right, it just-
So, you had pupation on your desk.
It may still be happening in some gradings, I don't know. I hope not. Sprig, the guy that sweeps everything, came in one day and I was just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm probably the dirtiest person in this whole building, bringing sawdust in. Lord knows what. Grubs, yeah. Yeah, it's actually, the grubs were one of the big things that the indigenous cultures were fighting against for their acorn harvests and chestnut harvests. And, oh gosh, who was the guy that, like famous from Pocahontas, John Smith?
Yeah.
You're right, you can't believe pretty much anything that is in his journals. He was like a fantastical storyteller. But one of the things that they think he was telling the truth on was that he mentions the forests when they got there were open like a park-like condition, he said, where you could drive your carriages through. And it was because the indigenous peoples were burning off the dust layer to reduce grub populations. Their orchards essentially. But John Smith had no conception of that. He was just, we're gonna keep it really park-like here.
Didn't you know about the grubs?
Yeah, well,
Did you know why they were burning?
I doubt it. No, doubt it. If he did, good on him.
Burning for carriages.
Yeah, it's for ease of, it's for the right of way. That's what it's for. Let's see.
Did you have your sip and stroll at Winterville? I was not able to go, and I know. it was
Yeah,
rain.
we had it,
Well,
but I think the only people that showed up were Julie and Mac, other than the people who were leading it. So it was me, Holly, Scott Merkel.
Oh, the ratio was pretty good. Leaders
It was it was a great peer to student or to teacher ratio.
2 months of dry, nice weather. And it rained.
Yeah,
We need right now.
and it was like thunderstorm on its way there,
Yeah.
like hitting right as we were gonna start it, so. So I think actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, it was Phil asks about sip and
Yeah,
spill,
put my name in the.
right at 5 o'clock, pretty much, I
Like
love
was
it.
Here.
So my next sip and stroll, I'm gonna make it, at Forest Heights.
Oh,
Forest Heights is just such a good neighborhood, it's gonna be sometime in November.
Okay.
And I think it may be, just before Thanksgiving, probably be a good idea. Not on that week, but weeks prior. And I think I'll probably try to do it on a Saturday again. I think that could have been part of. No, it was the thunderstorms.
Yeah, I think so.
But,
It was pretty sure.
yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do a sip and stroll at Forest Heights, could you kind of sip and stroll across the road to Oglethorpe Elementary and look at make it a two-part?
Forest Heights is
Maybe,
so big.
yeah, I tend to
Amazing.
lose people on the walks. Like if I go any distance at all, like it's 3 acres, I lost people after the first half mile.
Yeah, I remember.
Make it a postgraduate class, just a.
Secondary.
after class.
Yeah, if you want extra credit, come on out. But I think Forest Heights is a really good opportunity for it. There's just a really large group of interested people. They're well connected with each other, so it'll make it easy to get the word out about it really quickly.
That's where the blueberry thing is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think that's probably my best option. Really, I bought a bunch of kombucha for the sip and stroll, and I'm supposed to use it within a certain amount of time. So as soon as it happened, I was like, oh no, now I gotta plan something now. Like, oh, what is it? So that's why it has to be in November.
Will you let us know when you decide?
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely let y'all know.
And it probably has to be on the weekend, because if you do it late enough in the evening to be after work, on weekday, it'll be dark.
Because we're falling, well, we fall back, right?
right at the beginning of November.
So maybe like right then
Hmm.
might be the only time I could do it on a Thursday. But I think I should do it on a Saturday. Hard thing is just October, November is pretty wild for me scheduling wise on weekends, and I think everyone it is. I mean, October is the best month, of course, so
Yeah.
yeah, plans everything during October.
Makes everything.
Right.
But really, yeah, football is kind of the biggest thing that I'm worried
That
about.
used to be a real problem when we were doing tree fairs, trying to figure out what weekend we could get people to come to.
Now you got Halloween.
Well, I guess I'll just let y'all know about it. If anybody has any days where they think would be really good, actually, let's look at it really quick. October. So probably like the 8th or the 15th would be my guess, the most likely for me.
The 15th is home game in Texas, so
It is a home game.
the 8th is the at Mississippi State.
What did you say the 8th was?
At Mississippi State, so it's a away.
What about the 22nd?
UGA Charlotte. I think that's a
Yeah, yes,
That'd definitely be here, but that's to get us ready enough time to play Georgia Tech.
That's like the throwaway game.
Yeah, it's gonna be sort of a bye week a lot of times before the Georgia Tech game, but
yeah, and that's,
Now it's always before Florida, I think.
and we just got some.
the 22nd is like a 1 o'clock kickoff. It's early.
Usually the tree people they're not the heavy football people.
We don't like traffic either.
Yeah.
So actually during the game. I'm like,
Yeah, I know,
yeah,
that's always a
That's a great idea.
sweet spot. That's what.
I'm just gonna make it part of my advertisement. Not interested in the game? Come talk trees.
You could always throw it out there for a Sunday too. I know a lot of people go to church, but we often talk about this with Rivers Live and a lot of other events is everyone in the community tries to work off of the football schedule. That means that non-football weekends, every nonprofit, everybody, there's so much overlap and it's sort of silly. We used to, in the spring, we used to have a committee of people that did events in the spring where we specifically met to talk about and coordinate so that we weren't, because everybody's attendance levels were going down because there was just so much going on. I really wish we would do that for the fall as well. Yeah, yeah, but, anyways, just something to think about. It's that Sundays, we've talked about it a lot, like, just after sort of the church situation, you could do a 2 o'clock walk.
Yeah.
Kind of a nice thing to do on a Sunday.
Yes.
I like
Yeah,
that.
you just ate lunch, down,
After lunch, we could just go stroll.
drink some
And-
coffee.
Just looking for something like that to do on a Sunday.
That's a good idea.
There's just too much going on Saturdays, so we can keep it that as like.
And a lot of stuff's closed on Sundays too, so if you've got
Yeah.
family, you can't really do
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something. We can be in the Church of the Blue Sky.
John Muir would be proud. We're there. Okay, well, I'm glad I brought that up. I'm glad Phil brought that up. Credit where it's due.
Do I get the notes too? I wanna be in the notes.
Stacy is in here.
If Phil's in the notes, I'm in the notes.
In fact, folk songs will be written.
See us.
I get an assist. I'm happy with an assist.
Does anybody else have anything they wanna chat about?
These meetings are so much more fun when we don't have a quorum.
It's pressure, yeah. Like,
I'll second that.
we can't vote.
All in favor.
I guess as we get more and more acorns, they're still dropping. So if anybody has some time, they want to go over there, pick some up, feel free. I'm going to continue to go over there every time I've got a few moments just to gather. But I figure the more the better, because if we lose 20-30% to grubs, then we'll still have a substantial amount.
And just looking for ones that look nice and healthy. Now, yeah.
Yeah, no cracks. I go ahead and I toss anything that has a hole in it already.
Okay.
Talking about the holes.
So I've done a lot of acorn foraging. I was a semi-professional forager for a little while. And I always will throw acorns. right? If I see one that I don't like, I throw it because I don't want to look at it again,
Oh.
right? It's gone. You're out of my conception. I don't have to think about you ever again. Hopefully it'll germinate over there.
Have you ever used those basket picker upper?
The rollers.
Yeah.
And they do really well in grassy scenarios, but if there's leaves or anything, they pick up any of that debris. So for the tree that ends itself, I think just by hand is the best. And actually, milk jug, if you cut the top of it off but leave the handle,
Oh, okay.
that is like the ultimate foraging tool. And where we've got a bunch of them, I'll put it on a belt and just toss it in there. Easy
You
to
saying foraging, are you eating these acorns?
We have before, yeah. White oak is really good for flour.
Yeah.
You gotta leach the tannins out of it, which there's a specific process.
I did that as a Boy Scout project. I made acorn bread
Oh, cool.
for my scout troop.
Very cool.
Nobody would eat it.
Bunch of Philistines.
Stay away from the red oaks if you do, because you can't get the tannin out. It's
Really?
They're in the oil.
terribly,
But
terribly big.
if you press them for oil,
Yeah,
it does not express in the taste in the oil.
really.
Yeah, so you can
Not know that.
eat acorn oil like olive oil and it's totally fine. And it's a beautiful orange, like bright
Right,
orange
right.
color. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So actually, I'm doing a quick talk, my recollections of foraging for oil tomorrow in a Holly's class. So I'm gonna tell them about our exploits with the Nutty Buddy Collective up in Asheville, where we gather thousands of pounds of acorns, right? So white oak, we would make flour out of, red oak, black oak, water oak, we do oil, bitternut, hickory, we press for oil. Shagbark, you can press for oil.
Do you have to peel them to press them?
Yeah, usually. Now native groups would have just mashed them and then boiled them, skimmed off the top, but that does change the chemical components of it a little bit. But traditionally, the way East Coast indigenous groups got their fat was bear and shagbark hickory.
Wow.
There is so much archaeological evidence for hickory nut processing.
Why not mocker
Tons
nut?
of it. The
Too much
oil
nut.
content's really low in comparison to the shagbark, so.
I think the shell is more difficult too, probably.
Yeah, mocker nut is tough. It's very
I-
tough.
I crack them with a giant vice grips.
Okay, yeah.
Put a mocker nut, vice grip, and put it inside a Ziploc bag, squeeze it and it explodes, but it's contained in the bag.
So you don't.
Yeah, I've been making hickory milk with that.
Yeah. Shagbark's really rare to come by nowadays, so.
Water.
But yeah, they used to call it milk, they'd call it hickory milk,
Yeah.
super fatty, and it would be this like white, not brothy, but,
Emulsion.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
smells so
that's
good in the
what-
kitchen when you're boiling it off.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna be talking about that tomorrow.
Where are you gonna be doing this?
It's at Mornell.
And do they let people come in and listen?
Ask Holly, I'm sure they will.
How do we ask Holly?
Let's see, do I have a
Campbell, I think.
Holly Campbell? Yeah. Got to sign in again.
I gotta run, y'all.
Make it happen.
Sorry.
How dare.
Hey, Judy.
Oh, thank you for coming.
About one story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got your-
Always valuable to have. So thank you.
Yeah.
What time is this class?
9:30.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about hickory nut food. I mean, acorn food.
Oils.
You gotta get the husk off first. So most people put them in a burlap sack or something. Put it in the driveway.
Okay, cool, very cool. I may join you for that. All right, so Thursday. I know, that's, oh, that was something different. Oh, that's not- Wow.
I'm asking about.
Foraging.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having trouble finding it. One second. Search some other stuff. Ah! The class is in room 107. That's in the bottom floor of the oldest one. 75 to 5 to 1050. I did not tell you that it's acceptable for you to go.
Just happens to be a good
Wonderful.
Showed up. Oh.
Is this in the forestry curriculum or is this just a
Well, this is her class for foraging. She's got a foraging class that she teaches. And she and I talked about tree oils many moons ago. And she asked me, she was like, hey, you still want to talk about that? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So
But-
me and Royce are doing it together.
but I
as
mean,
the VGA
her foraging class it's credited, it's a
Yeah,
credited
yeah,
class.
you get credit for it. Yeah, so I think it's called Wild Harvesting is the name of the class. But yeah, really, really interesting stuff. She talks about like natural dyes and, you know, tree oil. She talks about like herbaceous stuff as well. She's kind of all over it. Yeah. it's
A
really cool.
class for the Master
Ali?
Naturalist
Oh, okay.
Did she?
certificate program, yeah. And she also showed us, and I didn't know that before, about the tree at the not the tree, but the trees at the University of Georgia that are, there's a whole park. There are different
the
places.
Arboretum?
Arboretum.
Yeah, yeah. Holly's a great wealth of information. I hope we never lose her to another university.
There could be people interested in doing that if you did a stroll and sip, on campus.
VGA.
I would love to do that.
Or just like
Maybe we could just ask forgiveness instead of permission.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Like, oh, what? I didn't do that here? But I went to school here.
Yeah, but we used to have, like, part of our mission was to do these outreach. So she did a class once with Ollie and it was we did the forest bathing and then they would have some tours on campus. I mean, when we had like an education group.
Yeah, we've done the North Campus
Oh,
one.
yeah.
We don't have any alcohol,
Yeah.
just coffee. Can't tell me I can't bring my
Sip on
coffee out of here.
anything.
I used to think it was like a park.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, so I'll be talking about that. I don't know, a lot of y'all probably have not seen my presentations. I end up just always kind of storytelling a lot. And I think this one's gonna be one that will tell you a lot about me. My travels, living in Alaska and Asheville. Got a lot of pictures of
Sure.
us, so. So it should be a lot of me telling stories and then the second half of Royce kind of telling like what's the modern day usage of tree oils, things like that. So it should be really interesting. I'm excited to.
modern day. So
I'll tell y'all
We'll do
the best part of it though. I tell this story a lot. And it's essentially that you can't please everybody. Because my wife and I we're harvesting bitternut hickories. There's this really nice park in Fletcher, North Carolina. It's just south of Asheville. Beautiful trails, people walking of all types. And we were out there, I've got Yona on my back and we're picking up bitternut hickories and we've got 5-gallon buckets and filling them up and it's just, raining from the sky. It's amazing. And it's always surprising how few people will ask you what you're doing. They just walk right past and it's like, you're not curious at all. Okay, like I see you. But then occasionally you get some people that are like, hey, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I like you, and this person came up and was talking to us and what are you doing? Like, oh, these are bitternut hickory and we're going to be pressing them for oil. And, it's really nice. There's a lot of bitternut here. And it's really cool. There's, fats and proteins in it, blah, blah, blah. We're going off on it. And then I finish and they say, "Oh, no thanks, I'm vegan," and turns around and walks away. And I just, what? What did I just hear? Like, okay, all right, okay.
Should have liked that, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, oil right from the sky.
They just like didn't want to try and they were like hoping you didn't know what that meant.
Maybe they just weren't listening, or I got no
Well,
clue.
well, when you said about pressing, maybe they didn't want to hurt the nuts.
Maybe. There's a level 7 vegans. They don't eat anything with a shadow.
There could have been wiggles in those nuts.
Oh,
Ah, they're Janus. Yeah. Walk with a broom in front of them. But yeah, so that's my go-to story that you can't please everyone.
so the
No.
bitter nut, is that the one's also called, like red hickory?
Yellow bud, they'll get called a lot. I don't think I've ever heard them called red hickory, but yellow bud.
Or sand hickory?
I think they're really close to sand hickory, but they're different.
What's close to sand hickory?
Bitter nut,
Yeah.
I think it's like Caria.
Pig nut and sand hickory are very similar. They're those indecisive, almost tight little nuts.
With a little snout on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Caria cordiformis is the bitter nut. But in terms of fats and oils, you could, if we picked 3 hickories and we didn't have pecan in there, then we would probably go with shagbark, pig nut, bitter nut as the 3 oiliest hickories. Because I know pig nut was also gotten by indigenous.
Yeah, I'll try a pig nut next time I do hickory
Yeah.
nut.
Pig nut's a little bit easier to shell as well. A lot easier to shell. All right, well, I guess maybe we should wrap it up for today. We can't vote on it. So let's just agree on it.
Feel free to just wander
good.
when you're ready.
Yeah. Mosey. I'm gonna turn off the recording and all will be good.
Nice.
See you Wednesday morning.
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta have.
yeah, I'll send that stuff. I'll let you know if something doesn't work. Sure.
Okay.